Hello, everyone. Good to see you. Thanks for showing up as always. Quick reminder that we're taking a 2-week break at the end of the year. Our last live broadcast will be on December 15th, and on the 22nd and 29th, there will be no new broadcast. And also, we're going to change our scheduling for the new year a bit. Instead of broadcasting every week at the same time, we're going to broadcast at different times and different days. This will give people in different time zones like Europe or India a chance to see the live initial broadcast. And it'll also help me to work from inspiration rather than scheduling. So when I have a great idea, I'll post it. And it could be more than once a week. It could be less than once a week. So if you subscribe to the channel, you'll get a notice premiere coming, and you'll get a couple of days notice on when the videos come up. So I think it'll be fresh and interesting and move it around a bit. I think you get the best of me that way. Thanks. So I was coaching a fellow the other day, and we were talking about the time crunch he was experiencing. And, you know, as we get into the holidays, a lot of us feel more of a time pressure, like there's so much to do and have parties to go to, or presents to buy, and places to go, and travels, and we get kind of like, So what I'd like to do today with you is help you undo a sense of not enough time. And if you have that, this video will really help you. I've always felt pretty abundant with finances. They've flowed by the grace of God nicely with me. But at one point, I used to feel like I didn't have enough time. I would be hurrying and worrying. And then I realized that time is not a logistical issue, it's an abundance issue. And if God made everything in abundance, including money and things and places to live and friends and jobs, then time is not an exception. You can't say, I'm an abundant being, but I don't have enough time. That's not right. It doesn't fit with the picture of enoughness. And so time is really a matter of how you're thinking about it. And if you feel worried and stressed and fearful and hurried, you actually crunch time more. Because when you're in a state of fear, resistance, or worried, your consciousness shuts down and you don't see the goodness and enoughness around you. And you've probably experienced that when you're late and hurried and frazzled, you hit all the red lights in the construction zones, and things go even slower. But when you relax and in the flow, you hit all the green lights and everything flows and you get there on time or earlier. So what we want to do is shift our awareness that there's always enough time. And the mantra I've given once or twice before in this series, but it's really important to give it again and now, is that I always have enough time to do the things that Spirit would have me do. It's an affirmation. Let's say it again together. I always have enough time to do the things that Spirit would have me do. It's true. And if you don't have enough time, it's because you're superimposing your idea of what you must do, your fear-based obligation, over the things you really need to do. And a great prayer affirmation is, Spirit, show me today what I really need to do, and release me from the things I don't really need to do. I release myself from those things, and guide me as to the flow. I wrote a book called The Tao Made Easy, T-A-O, The Tao Made Easy, like the Tao Te Ching. And there's a flow to life. There's a river. And when you're with the river, everything just gets done in the right way and timing. If you're bucking it or trying to swim upstream, it doesn't work because you're fighting the universe. So quit fighting the universe and let the universe show you what needs to be done, and be honest about what doesn't need to be done. And you'll be amazed at how everything that needs to be done gets done in perfect order. Another great mantra is divine timing, or God's timing is perfect, or I now affirm divine order. Everything that needs to get done will get done. And if it doesn't get done, it doesn't need to get done. It's not my job. I am partnering with a higher power to be in the right place at the right time for the right purpose. And I trust that my partner, the higher power, will take care of all the details that I have a hard time taking care of. Now, isn't that comforting? So back to the coaching session I described at the beginning of today's broadcast. So this fellow is a very successful businessman. He has lots of projects, great income. He just is a real doer. But he feels very pressured to do all this stuff. And at the beginning of our session, he said, well, please excuse me, I have a severe pain in my shoulder. And I wanted to have the session, but it just hurts me to no end. And as he was doing the session, he was like moving around and put his head, he was trying to get comfortable. He was very edgy and very stiff and very, I just can't really get rid of this. So I suggested to him that, metaphysically, the shoulder represents what you're carrying. And so if you have shoulder problems, it's highly likely that you're perceiving yourself as burdened. I have to carry this family, I have to carry this job, I have to carry this obligation, this religious ritual, this social obligation. And so if you have a shoulder issue, the first thing to ask yourself is, where do I feel burdened? And how can I lighten up on my sense of being burdened? And I walked this fellow through his process. He said, well, I feel this obligation, that one. Do you really need to do that? Well, maybe not. And we started distinguishing between what he really wanted to do and what he had to do and what he was making up that he had to do. And I reminded him of the affirmation, it's so hard when I have to and so easy when I want to. And we started to make a joy list of the things he loves doing and the things he hates doing. And as we were talking about this joy list, he was lightening up, lightening up, lightening up. I could see his face changing. I could see his shoulder relaxing. And as we started to talk to his hated task list, he started to realize that a lot of those were inherited from his family, who placed lots of obligations on him. They were also a successful business family. And these didn't really belong to him. They were old friends he felt like he had to party with and go to cocktail parties with, and he didn't really want to be with them anymore. And this project he took on, he didn't really believe in. And we started to talk about him releasing these projects that were just weighing him down, that were not joyful for him in the least. And I thought, well, I don't really have to do that, do I? And as I watched him on the Zoom screen, I was like, he became like a new person. And he said, well, my shoulders started to feel better. And after about 20 minutes, he said, I can't believe it. I have no pain in my shoulder whatsoever. Like, this has been like a miraculous healing. And I said, well, maybe miraculous in one way, but it's scientific in another. In that as you release yourself from a self-imposed sense of burden, then your body no longer tells you that story. And the body is an amazing communicator. The body is always showing you what you're thinking, for better or for worse. If you have a happy, healthy body, you're in alignment with your source, with a capital S. If you have pains or aches or injuries somewhere, the body's saying, there's something you're not looking at in your life where you're resisting. In Chinese medicine, the whole healing method is based on the flow of qi or ki, life force. And they say that wherever there's a pain, there's a blockage. It's like you're crimping a hose and only a little dribble is coming through because the flow of life force has been cropped or crimped. And so the first thing to do when you have any pain or any injury, any disease, is to ask yourself, in what way have I been blocking life force, the will of God, the joy of God, the aliveness of the universe, the creativity of creation wants to flow through me and express And how am I not allowing my greater truth, my authentic self to express? And you have to be really honest about this. And if you can say, oh, I don't really believe in that relationship. This job is getting me down, or this aspect of the job is getting me down, or have not been expressing myself fully in my relationship. And then you go about the business, excuse me. You go about the business of uncrimping that hose and letting that life force express and flow. And when you do that, healing happens, amazing things happen. And you start to open up and you get results. Your body starts to feel better and your relationships start to feel better. And your prosperity starts to flow, because when you're in your passion is one of the best prosperity magnets, because people are happy to pay you to do what you love to do. And when you're loving what you're doing, people show up and they're happy to pay you, and amazing things happen. So back to the time piece. So when you get into the flow of your aliveness and your creativity and your authentic expression, time will also line up well, because time is a function of the ego. It's a function of the belief system. A very funny expression is, the length of a minute depends on which side of the bathroom door you are. So if you're in the bathroom and just taking your time and doing your thing, well, I have plenty of time. But if you're outside waiting to get in, it's like, oh, a minute's a darn long time. We wish that person would get out of there. And so you can see how time expands or contracts with your consciousness. Time is like rubber. It's elastic. It expands or contracts with your consciousness. And the best investment you can make in having more time is to expand your consciousness. And this is why prayer and meditation and yoga and journaling and Tai Chi and Course in Miracles are such a great investment in having enough time and prosperity of all kinds. Because, if you take 20 minutes or 30 minutes to meditate and pray in the morning, you set yourself up for a great day. You're in the flow. You're connected to spirit. And when you're connected to spirit, everything works. There was a Catholic saint who said something like, if you, on the days when you don't have enough time to pray, those are the days to take more time to pray. Because the very thought, I don't have enough time, means that you're in a contracted consciousness. You're in a lack mindset. And if you can just take that time to pray or meditate or journal, whatever you do, then you get into an abundance mindset. And meditation is the greatest investment in abundance, because when you drop your monkey mind thinking and you open to expansive divine thinking, suddenly you're now connected to the supply of the entire universe. And the universe is infinite. And when you get connected with infinity, you become infinite. And when you become infinite, everything you do becomes infinite, including time and money and prosperity and right relationships. You think, oh, there's not enough available men or women. Well, that's a lack thought, isn't it? So if you could just get back to your inner enoughness, you can do all kinds of logistical things to manipulate, but they don't work. I mean, maybe a little bit, but mostly when you're connected to inner enoughness, I am enough. The universe is enough because I am enough. And if you want to boil all great affirmations down to 3 words, the affirmation is, I am enough. I was created by God in utter enoughness. I was given utter enoughness by God. The universe is a universe of utter supply. And I'm connected to everything that fulfills every possible need I can imagine. That need is supplied by a great spirit. Behold the lilies of the field. They do not toil, neither do they spin. Yet I tell you that Solomon in all his glory was not arrayed like one of these, and therefore take no thought as to what shall I eat, what shall I wear, what shall I do, because the great God that supplies the entire universe with life force is absolutely supplying you at this moment. So that's a great mantra to enter the holiday season with. I have enough because I am enough. The universe supplies all of my needs in every possible way, including time. Good message, huh? I liked it. I had fun with it. So let me remind you as well that next week is my exciting new series. I'm really stoked about this. It's called Into the Light. It'll be 4 evenings of webinars with me and some of my most esteemed, respected clients, Marie Manicherry, Mike Dooley, Ariel Shai Kane, Deborah Engel. We're talking about miracles and healing and intuition and enoughness and manifestation and prosperity. These are some of the best teachers I know. I've invited them to work with me for 4 nights. You can set your own tuition. So go to my website, alancohen.com, and you can sign up. It's 4 nights, December 6th to the 9th. Maybe it's not the night in your time zone, but it'll be sometime. And then, of course, we are beginning our brand new version of Holistic Life Coaching in January. This will be different because the entire program will be online without having a 4-day in-person retreat. It may be the only one we do like this. So if you're not in a position to travel or prefer not to, this will be the perfect training for you. We have a great group shaping up. There's a couple slots left. So if you'd like to work with me intimately and closely with an amazing group of exciting people for 6 months, this will be the program for you. So let's close with a moment of knowingness. Close your eyes with me if you would. Just going to speak the word for all of us, and you can say it in your mind or just listen and resonate with it. I know that I am enough. I hereby release any training, programming, doubts, history that I'm not enough. There are no gaps in me. There's no lack in me. There's nothing that's broken in me. Those are all lies. And at this moment, I pierce through those lies. I peel them away like onion skins. And I reveal within myself the jewel of shining sufficiency. And because I know that I am enough, I know that the universe is enough, that there's no lack in God. There's not one speck of lack in truth. I now step into my role, my mission, my destiny as a being of divine sufficiency. I release any blockages, any resistance, any fears that may have kept my life force flowing. At this moment, I let my life force flow abundantly, copiously. I allow health to flow to all parts of my body. I allow abundance to flow to all parts of my personal economy. I allow passion and creativity to flow into my work. I allow right relationship to be the theme of all of my relationships. If I have any blockages in any relationships, I ask Great Spirit. Now I allow Great Spirit to dissolve that blockage and create harmony and unity and shared vision in all of my important relationships. And I know that I have enough time. I always have enough time to do the things that Spirit would have me do. And today becomes a blessed day because I get into the flow of the day. I watch all the right things and people and events show up at the perfect moment. I also watch all the right people and events and things just depart in their own right timing. And I get into the masterful flow of my life. Enough of everything for me at all times. I am richly, richly, richly blessed in every way. And so it is.